paint pouring community. Today I'm just gonna hopefully be a quick little video for you. It's just on gloss coating your pours. Today I'm just going to do this particular one, the Mod Podge Gloss Lustre. This is the one that I'm going to use today, but this week I'll be doing a few videos testing a few of the gloss coats and seeing how I think they turn out and how you think you'd like them. I have had this other one. This is Global Gloss Medium and Varnish. This is very expensive, over $200 for this, unless you get it on sale. So that's a very expensive one. The Mod Podge, not so expensive because it does go a long way. And then this Acrylic Gloss Varnish, that's another one that I'll be trying this week and letting you know how I go with them. That one is 1 litre and that was $34.60 Australian. So I'm not sure what price you can get these for overseas. But I'm just going to go through what I would do to gloss coat my finished product. I know lots of people want to resin them, which I'm not really into the resin at this stage. And I find that if I came to resin this quite large canvas, it would probably be quite heavy on there, and plus it would put the price of the actual product to sell it, double it again because the cost of the resin to do it. So that's sort of putting you then in a market. If you're trying to sell your art, you know, you've got to double what you would normally to get the price back that takes you to resin the product. That's what I believe. This was a little one that I did a little while back. It was on a board that I'd just done testing on, and this was in the Mod Podge. So it gives a nice shiny finish, one that you can just wipe over with a damp cloth at any time, and did bring out all of those colours looking like emeralds, and so it did bring out a very sort of bland pour. It did bring it to life. So I'm going to see what it does on this nice big beauty of mine. So this has been poured about, maybe a month now, but it is fully dried and cured. It's there is actually no residue of silicone, should I say, on that at all. Like, you know, normally you can see like little bits of shiny, but there's actually nothing on that particular one. That's why I am so in love with and use only this particular one, the Helmar. And if you do it, I'll put a link, I think it's a little arrow down there at the bottom of this video on YouTube. You press that and it's got all of my contents, and I'll put a link to where you can get this from, under $7, but most online shops sell them for $12, so that's great. And as I said, in the cups I only put between 2 and 4 drops, so one of these 100 ml lasts absolutely ages. So 2 to 4 drops, sorry, but I always stir it in well. I don't believe what I learned when I first was pouring was just, you know, put 6 drops in, then stir twice, because that's when you get left with these big oily craters that, you know, not very nice. They're hard to get rid of. Whereas this, I haven't done anything to this, and it's got nothing. I can't see any shiny areas because I stirred in that Helmar silicone very well, and it still did the desired effect. Okay, so there's that. What I would do normally is I've just dipped this cloth in just a little bit of dish. I just put a little bit of dishwashing soap into water, and then I've dipped my cloth in it, and just wrung it out so it's almost dry. But this particular painting doesn't really need to have anything wet because it just needs a good dusting off. But if you've got bits of silicone, I would just suggest dipping your cloth in a soapy water, wringing it out, and just giving it a wipe like so to get anything off it. Then the dry side, just... Now, I wouldn't normally have done that with this because it actually hasn't got any residue on it at all. So, and just make it, allow it to dry. But that's it. So that's all good. I'm just going to move this down slightly while we do the actual mixing up of this Mod Podge. Just check that I've started my video because that would be a thing, wouldn't it? Yes, I have started the video. Oh, you know, you get these brain blobs where you don't remember what you've done already. Must be my age. Well, perhaps not, because when I was younger I used to do it too. So I'm going to put on my gloves. So what I like to tell you each and every time is have lots of ventilation. This is not particularly strong. I found the other two that I showed you, the Artelia and the gloss, was a bit stronger. This has got a bit of a pong, so if you want to wear a mask, if you are sensitive to the smells of the chemicals, definitely wear a mask and wear your gloves. Oh, that was another little one that I'm going to try. It's just a gloss spray, so I will try that for you in a different video. So I'm just doing the testing of them all again this week to see which you like. So I think the video would be too long if I tried to do them all on the same video. Okay, so what I've just got prepared for this, just a container, plastic container, and I've got just a jug of just plain everyday water. My water here is not treated with any fluoride, chlorine or anything because we're on a property and it's tank water and it's comes through filters. So it is nice, good fresh water with no other chemicals added. And I'm kind of thinking that might affect some people's paintings if they're using water that's highly treated with fluoride. So what I'll do, it's not runny, but it's not too thick, so I'm just going to pour some into the bottom. Now, why I do it in one of these containers is if I don't use this all in one go, then I just put the lid on it and it saves perfectly. So it's just, I think on the actual Mod Podge it doesn't tell you to add any water, but I have found that if I don't add water and I coat, that's when it's more than likely to crack. So that's my Mod Podge. And then I'm just going to add, I don't weigh anything if you have seen, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water, just slowly, just so I make it a little bit more easy to work with. And it's best to, it makes obviously a bit thinner, and then you just do more coats of it until you get the desired effect. But it just is a sort of a guarantee that it won't crack or craze. Just add in a bit of water. So it's not too much, it's just thinning it down a bit, but just sort of yeah, it's just kind of made it like a milky. No, it's actually more milky. So that's all I'm going to add to that particular one. So I'll bring my work back here. I can't get the whole because this is a big one, and that it is for going to be for sale. And so I just wanted to coat this. I had already got on the back when I painted it. I'd put the masking tape, so when I varnish it, it'll keep all the varnish off the back. Then when I've finished, I'll just pull the masking tape off and the push pins. Okay, so pull that back into, I'm not getting all of that in, am I, to the, but anyway, give it a try from here. So this should bring this to life. What I would normally do, I've got a few things, I try different things each time. I've got this nice, I guess it was an icing knife, icing to ice cakes with. It's got that little bit of a bend in it, so that's really good for spreading, if you want to spread. So that's a really good little tool. And I've got a miniature one of those, which is for smaller canvases, which is the same. It's got the edge that's got that bend in it, so that's really good for spreading too. So, and then these are really good, these spatulas for spreading to corners and things. But what I'm going to do this one with today, I probably might spread it a bit, is I'm going to use, so this particular one I'm going to show, this is the sponge brush. Now I've had people say, oh, doesn't it leave sponge mark or brush marks? But the more coats you do, then you lose the marks. And remember, it is a painting, so it doesn't really matter. It adds to the character. It's what it is. It's the nature of the beast. But I do like to dip my sponge in water first to soak it. Then I'll leave that there. Just give it a bit of a squeeze out. Okay, so it's not dripping. So this is my method for this particular one that I like to do. So I will pop that there. I'll just pour some of the varnish, and with my slightly damp sponge, probably just keep it in the way which you feel your painting's going. Like I feel this is from this direction, if you get my drift, and just basically coat it all in. If you feel that it's feeling a bit thick on the canvas, then dip your sponge brush back in the water, but wring it out, because you don't want the water overtaking. So it's just basically nice even strokes all the way down. I do the very edges afterwards. You will see after this has had a couple of coats, it just lifts all the colours again and really brightens them up. Because I know a lot of people have had a bit of trouble saying the colours really dull after. It can be brought up with the gloss coating, but if your colours are really that dull, you might be using too much glue, or you've diluted your paints too much with glue and water maybe, so you've lost, or they're not good pigmented paints to begin with. So there you go, that's covered. Going to put a bit more on there now. I'm going to just wipe around the sides with the residue that I've still got on my sponge. So sorry if I'm out of frame for this, but as it's a little bit bigger for canvas, so yeah, just try, if you feel it's getting a little bit sticky when you go back over it, leave it, because it's it's too late then to work it. Or you could dip it into the water and wring it out again, your sponge brush. And but yeah, the first coat is always the one that won't bring out the true beauty in it just yet, but I maybe would give 3 coats. If I want a really high glossy, then I'd give more, but 3 coats, I find what it's actually doing to your painting, it's making it the archive quality more or less likely to fade or anything else happen to it. Now I'm not going to touch it anymore, she said. just leave it like that. So we will be back again when I do the second coat. And normally I would like to leave it 24 hours. So as you can see, it's dry, it's all cloudy at the present time. But when I come back again and that's dried that little bit more, then you'll see it sparkle. I am going to try sometime in the next couple of weeks a sparkling gloss lustre coating, but that's sparkling, so that should be interesting. I haven't tried it myself yet, so I'll certainly do a video to see if you guys like it. But I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to touch it anymore now till that particular coat has dried thoroughly. So I'm going to leave it till tomorrow and then I'll coat it again. Okay, thanks for watching me. Any questions? Yes, please put them in, and best so if you come over to my Facebook art page, Acrylic Art by Julie Cube, and I usually can answer most questions there. But yeah, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.